In this video, I want to talk about my pencil knitting and the knitted mask that gets a liner. And let me just grab something. What you see here, this is 2 strands of fisherman knit on pencils, which are about a size 8.5 needle. Now, there's a really good reason for using pencils. Everybody has them. It's not only because people are stuck in the house now and maybe people that didn't knit before might want to start knitting if they have some yarn. These are the average sweater size needles, like an 8.5 or a 9. And so this is a good way to practice your knitting anyway. And the other one that I had done came out tighter than this one. And so that's one lesson, is that depending on your stress level, your just the way you're knitting that day, it could be the yarn. Some of this fisherman has actually been less twisted and spun than other areas of it. But anyway, this came out too long. So this is kind of a correction video for the knit mask, because I think these are really a good idea, that in the long run it's going to be better than just plain cotton surgical mask. So this, what you can do, in the first video I stated 32 stitches, knit 2, purl 2 on pencils. If you reduce that to 16 stitches, knit 2, purl 2, you will get about, it looks like it's about 6 inches. 5.5 even. But, so you'll get a narrower finished mask. So that's the correction. 16 stitches instead of 32. But you have so many options with this. If you've already made one like this, like I did with the 32 stitches, you can slip a piece of muslin or fabric in the inside, use your machine to sew the 2 edges, the 3 edges, and then put elastic on the sides. And you'll still have a knitted mask. So when we're doing this and all of a sudden we're helping people who have needs for medical equipment, some of this is going to be trial and error. And seeing what we're each comfortable with ourselves. Now, not only what you're going to wear, but if you're in the hospital or at the doctor's, what are you comfortable with the doctor wearing? Do you mind seeing this mask? Isn't that nice that people knit? Knitting is a wonderfully therapeutic activity. So then you can even take it to embroidery and put pretty flowers on here in I forget what they call it, double knitting, I guess, when you go back over the knit stitches with embroidery floss or something. Or if you're making them out of fabric, do hand crank or machine embroidery on them. Fabric, I bought elastic yesterday. Everybody is going to rip us off like you wouldn't believe with elastic, fabric, etc. I'm making them currently out of muslin and whatever fabrics I happen to have here. But I also have, my brother sent me about 20 pounds of wool. So, the correction for this one is 16 stitches, knit 2, purl 2, or fold it in half and put a liner in the middle, and that's for the knitted mask. So now my hand spun, which is right here, spins, I spin for sport weight, but it really knits at worsted. So here are size 6 needles and sport weight hand spun 28 stitches. And that again is about 5.5 inches, but because it's ribbed, it's going to stretch. So if you want to make just a single layer knit mask, I would do size 6 needles and hand spun or pencils and 16 stitches. And then you can treat it like fabric. You can use a machine to sew elastic to it, or you can do simple crochet ear loops, as I had said in the first pattern. And normally I would just redo the whole video and not leave the first one up there. But again, this is a trial and error period. And, you know, it's upsetting that the New England Patriots had to fly to China to get Chinese-made N95 masks, which I'm pretty sure are now referred, their model number is KN95. So they're not American masks. And part of me is saying, you know what, we can do it ourselves. And without getting into any politics or anything, use your creativity and your time at home to experiment. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. You don't have to do everything perfectly the first time. And even if your masks or the other things you decide to make don't go anywhere, your focus is on helping people. And that collectively is a wonderful thing. So, again, the correction is 16 stitches on pencils with 2 strands of fisherman wool, and knit 2, purl 2 until it's about 3.5 inches wide for your knitted mask portion, which would then have a muslin or fabric panel attached to it with snaps. And then you can just make the liner fabric with the snaps. And this is a reusable cover mask with different washable liners. That's that correction. And then an addition is hand-spun, size 6 needles, and 28 stitches, knit 2, purl 2. And don't be afraid to knit.